Okay, guys, so after you watch the video, your job is to complete page 253 in your book, which is comparing unit fractions with fraction bars. Okay, so the first question that is asking you to answer or is telling you to write about is to describe two patterns that you see in the fraction bars. Okay, so you're gonna take a look at these fraction bars and you're going to be thinking about how these fraction bars are, for example, how each fraction bar is like the other, or how each fraction bar is different from the other, or what patterns do you notice in the fraction bars. Okay, so I'm gonna be telling you some of the things that I notice in these fraction bars. Number one, for example, is something that you can write about, is that in each row there is one more unit fraction than in the row above. Okay, so for example, here we have two fraction bars, and on top we only have one, and every time it increases is one more. So again, in each row there is one more unit fraction than in the row above. Something else that I notice is that the unit fractions grow smaller as the denominators grow larger. For example, we have 1 over 5 here, which is a denominator that is greater than 1 over 4. But the unit fractions bars in this whole thing are smaller than the unit fraction bars in the 1 form, 1 over 4. Okay, so that is something else that you can write about. And last thing that I noticed is that every other fraction bar can be split into two equal parts. For example, we have one whole here, and then the next one is a fraction bar that is split into two fraction bars. Okay, so that is something else that I noticed. You can write one idea or two ideas, whatever comes to your mind, but these are the three main things that come to my mind when I look at these fraction bars. Okay, so after you complete these, the next part is to compare using less than, greater than, or equal to symbols. Before we do that, I just want you to remember a little bit about what are comparing symbols. Like, for example, this one is called greater than and is used when a number is greater than the other number. I always tell my students that when the symbol has the open mouth pointing towards the bigger number, that's when it shows that this is the greater than symbol. The opposite shows that it's less than. When the mouth is not open to the number, that means that this number is less than. And equal to, as you may know, is two numbers that are the same or same quantity. Okay? With that in mind, we're going to continue and we're going to be comparing the first one, which is 1 over 3 compared to 1 over 7. All right? So, according to what I see in this pattern, 1 over 7 is less than 1 over 3. Why? Because it has smaller spaces or smaller fraction bars. And that's what we said, that when the fraction bars are smaller, then the number or the fraction is smaller. So that means that 1 over 3 is greater than 1 over 7. And I am going to be using this symbol right here, the one that has the mouth pointing towards the greater number, which is 1 over 3. So your job is to do the other two ones and to complete this. And that would be it. Bye.